Hello everybody, beautiful autumn's day here in Melbourne, so second ride in a week. I'm not sure whether or not I'm actually going to post this video. We'll see how well it goes, but I'm trying yet another route on one of the bike paths. This one's called the Scotchmans Creek Trail, I think, and from the looks of it, it's about a 40-kilometer round trip, and most of it appears to be actually off the road on dedicated bike paths. So all being well, should be enjoyable. It's only 12 degrees at the moment, but I'm hoping it's going to warm up pretty soon with this sun, so we'll just see how we go.
Follow this way for 2.3 kilometers.
So the first part of this ride follows the same route that I took a week or so ago. So I'm heading down under the rail tracks, past a couple of stations, and then I turn off left and head through a sort of mini urban forest, I think they call it, crossing over a couple of busy roads, and then when I get to the train station, instead of cycling over the tracks like I did last time, I'm going to turn right and run down by the side of the tracks for a while until I pick up the trail.
50 meters.
So we're in the first of what they call these reserves. I think what they do is they have these green strips that follow some of the streams and small rivers and drainage systems, and they've built these footpaths and cycleways through them, which is a really good way of keeping you off the road. And I think, looking at the map, most of the way on this trip is through quite a developed, built-up area, but it's following these green strips, so hopefully it should be good. So, how are we feeling this morning? Well, it's certainly pretty cool in the shade of the trees.
Now keep left.
And I'm feeling aches and pains that I don't ever remember feeling when I cycled before. So, I'm trying to convince myself that
In 110 meters, keep right up the fork.
I actually feel generally no different from 20 years ago. So I'm blaming these aches and pains
Keep right onto cycleway.
on the fact that I've not cycled for so long, and the aches and the pains are around my shoulders and my arms, and I think that's from just this somewhat unnatural position that you finish up in on a bike leaning forward. And my knees don't feel 100%, it has to be said, this morning. Can I blame that on the cold weather? I'm not sure. Let's see whether or not they loosen up as I go on. So we're about 5 kilometers into the trip today, and we're just coming up to the bridge that runs over the railway lines and then the motorway. So all being well, we're going to find down here a little track to the right, which is the bike path that runs alongside the motorway and the rail track. There we go.
You are back on the tour. Navigation will now continue.
So this part of the track, which is just down from the rail station, is pretty good. I can just hear the motorway to my left, but they've shielded it quite well. I'm actually feeling quite a bit warmer now. It's either due to the fact that I've gone uphill, or it's these power lines above me which are warming me up. So this part of the trail is really nice, off the main roads, and we're running by what I guess is Scotchmans Creek. We're just going to cross over it now, I think.
straight on cycleway.
So I think the creek's to my left now, just down there. Yeah, this is really pretty. And it's quite a nice wide track as well, which is good at the moment.
In 160 meters at the intersection, go straight onto Scotchmans Creek Trail.
So, slight detour here. They're actually doing some work on the end of the trail just behind me. So the guy has told me to go up here, turn left again. So hopefully at some point this navigation software will figure out what I'm trying to do and send me in the right direction. Maybe I'll go left down here. Still looks pretty close ahead here actually, but never mind. Let's give it a go.
Detours 70 meters ahead of you. Detours is now ahead of you. Prepare to turn right.
Okay, we're in business. Just need to get down there onto the actual track itself.
Navigation will now continue.
I know I've got a gravel bike and I should be able to go over that grass,
Now keep left.
but it looks pretty muddy and horrible to me. I'm a fair weather gravel cyclist. See, come back together anyway.
Now turn right.
In fact, they're making a new path and it finishes just there. All right, here we go. Another detour. This time it's my fault. The trail actually split in two. I took the wrong one. And to be fair to this navigation software, it told me. And it's told me that the trail is 100 meters to my right. So that's where I'm heading. Nice, quiet suburban roads though. I'm not sure whether or not the camera's picking out all the lovely colours of the autumnal trees. I'm just happy I can look at them and not have to clear up the leaves when they fall off. As you can see, I'm going down an extremely steep hill. I'm not looking forward to coming back up this. I could be walking. I don't care how low my gears are. My legs aren't up to this, I don't think. Another steep hill that at this point I'm going down, but I'm going to have to come back up. I think this one's even worse. So in the background, hopefully, you can see the Dandenong Ranges. So they're in the far distance when you look out of the apartment. So I guess I've come quite a way. Oh, look at this hill, this is ridiculous. No wonder that lady's resting with her shopping bags. And this is going to be very ignominious as I walk up this hill. I'm sure this ride only had 90 meters of climbing on the whole ride when I did the mapping. No way. I don't weigh more than 90 meters. I'm wearing my brakes out as well. Maybe I'll just let them go. Now I need to put them back on again. Turn right here, I think. Yeah, 1.5 kilometers to go.
Scotchmans Creek Trail.
Okay, so I'm into the park, which is the turnaround point. Still got a bit of way to go, but all of a sudden the big steep hill isn't a major worry for me. Now I'm looking at the sign, and I don't like the snake sign on the bottom. In the park, and it looks like we've got a school sports day. There's a lot of them, that's for sure. Must be a cross country. They're getting very excited. I'm on the cross-country route. Luckily, most of them have passed through from the looks of it.
Follow this way for 250 meters.
I got no idea where I'm going. I would have thought I would have stopped by now. I just randomly picked the spot on the map to be the turnaround point. So far on all of my rides, I've never actually got to the turnaround point, so I'm determined to do it today.
You are close to your destination.
I'm close to my destination. Woohoo! Got to the turnaround point. Pretty random spot that I've picked. Just in the middle of nowhere, basically, no features. Maybe I'll go back to where all the kids are finishing the cross country and sort out my route back. So yeah, that was pretty good. I'd say 75% of that ride was good. The final, almost the final, not quite, but coming up towards the end, the 25% towards the end was a bit convoluted, crisscrossing roads, up and down roads. The sort of track seemed to disappear. But yeah, the first part was really nice through the trees and along the creek. So looking forward to going back, apart from 2 seriously ridiculous hills and 1 gentle incline that just goes on for quite a long time. I'm not looking forward to that either. Just about to start the first of the really steep hills. Be interesting to see how much you climb actually. My elevation at the moment is about 100 meters. So let's see what we're like at the top. Time for a very low gear. So that was only about a 50-meter altitude gain, but my goodness, it was steep. I'd like to say that I cycled up it, but no, didn't get very far at all. Even pushing the bike up was pretty hard work at the moment for me. Anyway, enjoying this little downhill stretch now. Okay, hopefully, apart from a few little inclines, it should be basically downhill now on. I remember saying in an earlier video that when I was deciding what type of bike to buy this time around, I decided I was still a few years away from needing an electric bike to help me up the hills. I may be reconsidering on that. I can't imagine that I used to be able to get up something like that. My thighs were just burning and I hadn't even got a quarter of the way up. Ah, well, never mind.